Hey, what's up everybody? So in this video we will discuss about the deployment of our NLP model with the help of Docker, and we want to deploy that particular model so that actually the user will going to use that model for his own purpose. Okay, so for the deployment we have to make a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so what is CI/CD pipeline that we will gonna discuss in this video. So the first thing is but these are the set of tools that we will gonna use in this the use case, the project. The first thing is Flask. What is the Flask? And this is actually a very lightweight web framework, and we'll discuss into the detail about the Flask in this video. And the second thing is what is Docker, and that we're going to discuss, and that we will also use in this video. The third one is GitLab. This is the sign of the GitLab, and the fourth one is Jenkins. Okay, so first of all you have to configure a virtual box, a virtual environment, so that we can all install this on the particular virtual environment. Okay, why we are using virtual environment? Because the Docker generally want not a window platform. Generally in the recent update, Docker can be installed on Windows, but actually it is much more compatible with the Linux. Okay, it's made for actual Linux. It generally run on Linux kernel. Okay, so for that you have to configure VirtualBox. Go and just download a VirtualBox, and also go to Ubuntu website and just install, just download the Ubuntu image, and there is a lot of more videos that will explain you how to install Ubuntu on your virtual machine, so that it will run on the top of your host operating system. Okay, so after installing Ubuntu, go to setting, and you have to do one simple setting, then to configure your network to bridge adapter. Okay, and give that your adapter, choose whatever the adapter you want to use, and that should be your this Intel dual band wireless AC, what adapter you are using. So that adapter will let you connect your host operating system directly to that operating system running on your VirtualBox. Okay, so whatever have been installed, we can directly contact our VirtualBox and to our host operating system. Okay, so we'll work on the command line basically, so that we want to configure it, and after that start it, and it will start for you your actual operating system running on VirtualBox. Okay, it will take some time through video editing. We'll just directly jump on when this operating system will get started. So we have started our operating system. So here you can see we have the screen, and we'll just open the terminal here. So as you can see that it's been slow, because it's actually running on the top of VirtualBox, so you can expect it's quite delay. So we'll just fire a command ifconfig, so it will give you that on which network your operating system is running. So here you can see 192.168.43.200. We'll just open our command prompt also, and in this you just can see ipconfig. Here you can see that 192.168.43.92 is actually the same network, only that IP addresses are different. So it means we can directly connect our PuTTY or CMD or PowerShell with the SSH. Okay, so with the SSH you can just type the username. So here you can see I have username of MD Rijwan. So MD Rijwan at the rate 192.168.43.200. After that press enter. If you haven't changed the port, the port will remain 22. So after that it will prompt you for the password. Just press your password, and the terminal will get open. Okay, So what is actually Docker? So according to Wikipedia, Docker is a set of platform as a service product that use operating system level virtualization to deliver software in packages called container. Okay, so what it actually means, you have an application, and if you want to run your application, you only need an system or environment where you can that environment have all the dependency for your application to run. Okay, so that application should be very much small, only that dependency or libraries it should contain. It doesn't have to contain everything which you doesn't want. Okay, so that is a drawback of actually of using architecture of previous hypervisor technology. We open this. Okay, yeah, so in this picture, so you can see that previously the virtual machine architecture on the top of infrastructure, it means your operating system, your hardware, you will have hypervisor install, and after that there is individual virtual machine. Like I have installed here a particular one virtual machine. Okay, so for different application you need to install a different operating system, which will be bulky and heavy, and you don't want other features to be installed. While Docker, it will run on your host operating system on the kernel, and for different application it will run a container which have everything dependency installed, and that application, that container run as an instance of the particular image. What is image, that we will understand, and that will be very much lightweight. Okay, so this understanding of Docker for this video is totally out of the scope. That will understand in some other video. For now we will install Docker for our work. Installing the Docker is very straightforward and is given in your Docker docs itself. So first of all we will use sudo apt update, and after that this command, this sudo apt install. So for this command, go to Docker docs in Ubuntu section, depending upon whatever operating system you are using, and after that curl command, and after that this command. So this is all the steps that will give you the recent or updated version of Docker. Then you have to fire this command, and after that apt update, and finally this Docker community edition. Since I have already downloaded it, so for that you can just, I will use tell you what images that I have into my virtual machine. Okay, so here I have this NLP Python, this my app Python, GitLab, Jenkins. These are the images that I have installed previously. Okay, similarly we will try to make our image for our NLP model, and we'll run it. Okay, so just install it. Installation is very straightforward, and after installation you just check whether it's running or not. Just I will use this command, sudo docker run hello world. Okay, so it will, if that particular image it will won't find, it will download it from internet. Okay, and after that it will run here hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appear to be working correctly. Okay, this message you're required to know that the Docker have been installed correctly. And after that you have to install Jenkins. So for the Jenkins you directly go to linuxize.com, and here how to install Jenkins on Ubuntu 18-04. So that is very straightforward. For Jenkins to run you need to have OpenJDK to be installed. So Jenkins have been written in Python, Java. So sorry for that, it's Java actually, and so for that it needed OpenJDK to run. So first of all install OpenJDK, and after that you run that Jenkins Debian repository. It will get the key, and after that you will fire this command, and after that Jenkins. Okay, so after installing Jenkins, we have to install on our this operating system. Okay, so just after installing Jenkins, it will run on port 8080. Okay, so after installing the Jenkins, it will running on some port, and just we will have to go just a minute, config, and here we have 192. Just copy it, and here just paste it, and 8080. So it will open for you the Jenkins which is running on my computer. Okay, so firstly, the Jenkins configuring it is the actual thing that we want, and for that I will tell you the power of Docker. So generally for running Jenkins, you can also run it with the help of Docker. We will just pass Docker images. Okay, so this is the Docker images actually. Okay, so here you can see we have Jenkins images that already I have pulled out. So I will run this image on some port. Okay, so for that we have command docker run -d is for the running it and the background, -p, and in which port you want to run. So Jenkins already running on port 8080, that port won't be available. We will use our 9090, and inside the Jenkins is running 8080, so it will bridge 8080, connect it with 9090. Okay, so that is this command is all about. So after that we will use we will give it a name. We will use Jenkins, and after that Jenkins/Jenkins. So that's all. So if that container is not running previously, so it won't give any type of error, let's we wish. So it is actually I have run before, so that's why it's Jenkins name is already contained in it, so I have to give it a different name. So Jenkins like 123, any type of name. Okay, so it is running at the background. So if you can just see docker ps-a, only docker ps. Okay, so you can see that Jenkins is actually running on port 9090, and the name actually we have given Jenkins 123. Okay, so just copy it and paste on your browser and just go to 9090. You can find that something is running. Okay, so Jenkins is getting ready. So you can see the logs also of this container. So this actually become a container. So this image Jenkins/Jenkins have all that our repository, all that dependencies that is needed to run the Jenkins. Okay, so it have some Linux operating system you can see in this particular container, and the Jenkins have been installed in it and it's running, and after running it becoming a container. So that container we are accessing. So you can also go to Docker logs, and you can just type a container ID that should be unique. So you can also type a 1 or 2 characters or 3 first ID only, 85F. Hit enter. You can see that you have this key. Okay, that key, copy it, and here the Jenkins will ask you for the key and continue. And now after that you need to install. So similar process of installation you will get for installation into that operating system, not in the Docker. Okay, so after that install plugins. So it will install your every type of plugins needed to run Jenkins smoothly. Okay, so generally if you won't find that particular path, or if you're going to install the Jenkins on your operating system, this operating system, you will find that particular key in the Jenkins log. Okay, you can just type locate, maybe if the locate is installed in my system, so Jenkins, so it will show you everything wherever the Jenkins have been installed. So here you can see the Jenkins log. Okay, so just type this and Jenkins log. So here then at the bottom you can see that the same key for the first time installation is available here. So I'm just coming out of the Vim. So that particular key you need to enter while installing Jenkins on the operating system, not with the help of Docker. So in this we have installation installed with the help of Docker. That's why we need a Docker log. Okay, in the logs we will get that particular key. After installation, so that happened because my internet connection are not good. So after getting ready, you will prompt for password, give the password, and Jenkins will automatically get the work done for you, and after that you can good to go. So I am just disconnecting it, and I'm just check docker ps. You will get Jenkins, and I will just stop this container. So I will stop this container also, as well as I want to remove this container also. Okay, so and docker remove 85f. So it will stop as well as remove this. You can see which is nothing is running. Okay, so this is the actual Jenkins that I have installed and configure. So the password and username is same, so just to remember for me, and if your password username correct, it will land you on the Jenkins page. So this is the Jenkins page actually. So this is the web browser. So in this you can see that new item, everything is available. So that will configure after when we write our Flask code, and we will actually want to deploy it. Okay, so for the GitLab we are going to use Docker itself. Okay, so if you can just see, I have the image of GitLab here. For that image you can just type docker pull and GitLab/GitLab CE. So here this is the GitLab in Docker Hub. Just go to Docker Hub and just share search for GitLab community edition, and here the GitLab Docker command to pulling that GitLab image from the Docker Hub is given here. So just copy it and just paste here. So I have already installed, so maybe it won't prompt for the latest version. So yeah, it's pulling it because it's already it have found something latest version, so that's why it will download everything for me. Okay, so it will take some time. After downloading, we will come again. So it have successfully downloaded it, and here we can see that I already have GitLab the latest version. So for that we will just run it. So to running that GitLab, we will just type this command docker run -d for running in the background, and -p. So GitLab have 3 port that need to be open. First one is 443, that we will link with 443, and you know that this 443 the actual the port where we will use it on our host operating system. This is for that port that is running inside that container. Okay, so again -pp. The second one is 80 is the actual port where the UI is running. Okay, so this port we will access our UI. Okay, so after -p we will use 22, 22. So 22, 22 is the port GitLab will use for 443, 80 and 22. That 3 port we will need it to open. Okay, and after that we'll just type the name of our container, that is GitLab, and the name of the image, GitLab-GitLab. Okay, so these are the things that needed to be run, and after that hit enter. So it will run your container, GitLab container, at the back end. So I have already run in the past, so you can just just type docker ps, so you will get that actually running the container. So if you stop that container, that particular container we recorded in the past, you can see that with the help of docker ps-a. So here you can see I have that the docker name hello world NLP Python that I have run to test it, and here you can see the GitLab. Okay, so 6 days ago I have run it, and here you can see the 80, 443, and the running is 2200, which is actually accessing from the outside. Okay, so that will going to run here. Okay, so just write your command. Okay, so for running it, so docker start 51c. Okay, so just press enter. So again sudo docker ps. Here you can see that your GitLab is running. Okay, just checking the log, just check docker logs and the number, the container ID. So it will show you all the logs which is running to run your GitLab. Okay, so GitLab will take some time to run. Okay, so just a minute, and yeah, it's actually configuring. It's actually takes some time to run. Okay, it's yeah. Okay, so it's actually running on A80. Okay, so it will show you 502, but this thing is not to worry about, because GitLab generally takes some time to configure, and after that our GitLab will ready for us. Okay, the installation of the Jenkins, and Jenkins installation is very straightforward. So with the help of Jenkins, we can, what we'll do, we will make a pipeline. Okay, pipeline to monitor our build, and if there is any problem, that pipeline will get break. Okay, so how we will make the pipeline, that we will see on the next videos. Okay, so now we will try to make what is Flask actually. Okay, so Flask is a web development framework that is very light and very easy to write and very easy to understand, and this framework can be used to make an APIs which generally people are preferring. Okay, so it's very easy to make APIs and ship, and it also give you WSGI connector, which is actually help us to connect our application with client. So whenever client need any type of response, it will connect it with your application through WSGI connector. Whatever response you will get from the application, that connector will get transfer it again to the client. Okay, so that WSGI connector or feature will be provided by the Flask. Okay, So what is it? It is micro framework used for website designing, APIs and RESTful APIs. Okay, reusing existing code, lots of documentation, very rich documentation is available for understanding Flask, and next way to write small applications. Okay, so it's a framework, yes. So under the hood it is Vex, full power of Vexzug. It is actually the thing that I was talking about, WSGI connector. Jinja to a capable template. You can write your template of XML, HTML, anything which is written in Python. Okay, so generally Python developer, Jinja 2 is a very good tool to write for HTML or XML template. And 450 lines of code it is something which is not we can discuss, but it is very easy to make your application with the help of Flask. So we will try to make this one application of Flask, and we'll try to see how Flask is very easy to understand. Okay, so I'll write Flask try and open it. So this I'm actually working in Visual Studio Code, so you can use any type of editor which you like. So first of all, I will import Flask. From Flask, import Flask. Flask is a class, importing from the Flask library. Flask can be installed with the help of pip. So go to terminal and or your command prompt and just type pip install and Flask. So Flask will get installed in your system, okay, or your virtual environment, wherever you want to install it. And after that, we will just create an object for class Flask, and inside it we will just give underscore name. That is our name of the main method that we will pass under the code. And after that, we will route our application. We actually running this in the browser, so we are actually making an API. So whenever we open our web browser, the local host, we will see that particular message, whatever write in the Flask will get appear on our browser. Okay, so we'll type app.route, and we will say slash. So slash is actually the default one, so we'll just type definition index, and after that return hello Flask. Okay, so this is the very easy one. And after that, we will write the main method. So in the Python, we will write main method like that, equal to and main, and after that we will run app.run, and debug is equal to true. If everything is right, we will see the response into the browser. We'll just open our command prompt and just hit if the Flask is installed. I'll try to install it. Okay, Flask and Flask try.py. Hit enter, and it said something like an attempt made to access a socket in a way forbidden by its access permission. Okay, all right. So okay, so actually the problem is in the port. So we have to give some different port if that message comes again. So we have to give some different port and try our program. So I have given 8000. So just go to your program and just click it, and it will start normally. Okay, so just go directly to your browser and just hit local host and 8000 and you will see hello Flask. So the Flask is that much easy, okay, to understand. Okay, so after going into it, so we have covered Flask, some little bit detail about Docker, that GitLab. So GitLab is actually host your code, and also it will give you all that CI/CD tool, like integrating it with the Docker, integrating it with the Jenkins, integrating it with the deployment tool like Kubernetes, and everything. So for that, many companies are using GitLab. Okay, so Git is generally for open source, and if you're an enterprise, many people are using GitLab. Okay, that's why I chosen GitLab and to make this video. Okay, so we have done what is Flask, Docker, GitLab, Jenkins, configure it, and after that installation. So in our system we have installed Docker. In our system we have saw installation of GitLab and also the Jenkins. Okay, so our environment is totally build it up, and after that we can happily code and we can deploy it. Okay, so thank you so much. In the next video, link given in the description for getting the detail, just click it and directly go into that video, so that you can see how the actual thing is working. Okay, how that integration is working, how the continuous integration and deployment pipeline is actually working. Okay, hey, what's up everybody? So today we will discuss about one of the use cases that we're going to implement today, that is sentiment analysis. It's come under the NLP use case. So as you can see here in this picture, so we have three type of emotion or sentiment, you can say. First is negative, second one is neutral, and third one is positive. So as these images can describe you betterly, so you can say that based upon that maybe some behavior or maybe some emotions or maybe some written type, how you can infer the particular person is negative is in sense or in sentiments, or neutral or positive. That we can analyze today in this project, you can say, you can use case with the help of NLP, and we'll implement it with the help of Python. So I have data with me that I can show you here. So this is a kind of tweet, and there are many tweets that here, and in this there is a label that particular tweet is negative or positive. Okay, so here in this notebook that I have implemented, and we will try to learn how we can implement it and how we can increase the accuracy, or this is the thing that we going to implement it into this notebook. Okay, so stay tuned, we will discuss everything. Hey, what's up everybody? So in the last video we have showed you how to install that various tools and technology that will help us to deploy our NLP model. So in this video we'll try to write the API with the help of Flask in Python. So how we're gonna do it? So let's quickly we go to the roadmap that we have designed for us. So we have just have a quick throw in the previous video. This is a Flask, Docker, GitLab, Jenkins, and how to install it, and after that configure it, and when your all environments are ready, now we'll write our Flask API for our NLP model, CSS and HTML. So this will be the main agenda of our this video. So first of all, open any directory, and in this directory I will first make a Python file. I'll name my Python file as app.py, and open it with the help of any editor you want. So I will open command prompt, I will type code /space dot. So it will open for me this. Visual Studio Code. So this is that app.py file I was talking about. So first of all, I will try to import some of the libraries or modules that will help us into our matter. So I will import from Flask, import Flask. So the Flask module have Flask class. That class will help us to make our web framework. It's very easy to design some APIs or some very quick microservices with the help of Flask. So I'll just write template URL for and after that request. Okay, so if everything is right, and after that we'll try import pandas as PD. Okay, oh sorry, as PD. And we also require NumPy. So if you have gone through in my previous video in which I have we have made that sentiment analysis NLP use case that is available on that video this description, so you can just go through all the codes that I have written in the details. So the main code that is help us, that I will write into this API. Okay, so next tool is we'll have to import module NLTK. So this library have much features that will help us to be imported for our NLP project. So mostly NLP projects are made with the in Python with the help of NLTK. Okay, so that is port stemmer, and after that import regex and import string, and after that from sklearn dot feature extraction dot text import count vectorizer. So you can also use TF-IDF, so that that depend upon you which you want to choose. So for our this video I'll use count vectorizer. Now sklearn linear model import logistic regression. Okay, so this classifier model logistic regression algorithm will use to classify whether our particular word is a sensitive, happy or unhappy, negative or positive. That model will use, and after that we will have some definition. So remove underscore pattern input text and pattern, and in this we will just have a variable R. That R will store find all, and will give the variable pattern and input underscore text. For I in R, so this is the same definition that we have discussed in our previous video. So that video is given in the link in the description. You can just check it out, what is exactly that video is all about. So we have discussed this NLP use case there. I comma and that is input underscore text. Okay, and after that we'll come out of the for loop and we'll just hit return input text. Okay, so it's giving me some error like undefined variable input text. So I think so it's given here. So this video, so this input variable will not going to make a problem for our project. So after that, what it will generally do, we will pass some regex, some regular expression. So that regular expression, with the help of that pattern, we will try to remove that pattern, and in that way, in the place of that particular pattern, we will replace it with the this null value. Okay, so this is all about. So this is a removal of pattern, like some username @ or some numbers or some punctuation, such like that. Okay, so after that we'll use count, just count punctuation. So that count punctuation will count the how many number of punctuation we have, so to increase the model accuracy. Okay, so sum, and after that I for char in text if character in string dot punctuation. Okay, so return round. So the rounding of the particular count divided by length of our text minus by text dot count and the number of spaces. So we only considering that the length of the character, length of particular string. Okay, so the count, how many number of punctuation in that text, divided by length of the text, and minus that spaces in between the text. So this will tell us exactly how much punctuation count or percentage we have, because we are multiplying it with 100, so it will give you the percentage, so 20%, 30%, how much percentage of punctuation in the given text we have. Okay, so after that, give app. This is actually the name, or you can say object of a given class. So what is class in our case is Flask. Okay, so in it we had to pass name. So name is generally the main function, so that we will pass as a variable here. So that name function we will assign at very lowest of the code. After we will write every code, and after that we will have a data pd dot read dot underscore csv, and in this we will pass our sentiment dot csv or tsv. Okay, so previously we had sentiment dot tsv to train our model first. Okay, so separation is -t. Okay, so that is not dot, so that is this one. Okay, so it will find out the sentiment dot tsv file. Okay, so we will copy that sentiment dot tsv file from our previous folder. So where we have, so this is the folder that previously we had. So I will copy sentiment dot tsv from here, and I will paste it into the given directory. And after pasting here, you can see we have sentiment dot tsv file. Okay, so that the particular that API, the files will be available on GitHub repository. That GitHub repository, the link is in the description, so go and check it out. Okay, so first of all, we're going to import some of the libraries that will use it into this notebook. So first we will import our basic libraries, pandas, import numpy, import, and we can give some alias so that we don't have to write pandas fully. So import pandas as pd, import numpy as np, import regular expressions, it's re. Okay, so R is itself a very short, so don't have to give it an alias. So after that, for plotting, we will use import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Also, there is one of that important visualization tool given in Python, which is very intuitive, or it's written on top of matplotlib. It's a Seaborn. So through Seaborn, we don't have to focus more on code, rather than we will focus more on what we will try to infer or try to visualize. So Seaborn can help us into that matter. Very rich feature that it provides. As SNS will give a standard name, import string. So some of the string library, because it's a NLP use case, so we'll use string library for it. And there is also one of that important library that we have to use called NLTK. Okay, so natural language toolkit, it's a full form abbreviation actually. So in this, every type of libraries available which is generally related to natural language processing. Okay, so after that we'll have to import some of sklearn libraries that we will use it into this session. Model selection, import train, let's see if it can complete. Okay, it's train test complete. Also grid search CV, and from sklearn dot metrics import F1 score. Okay, so this is the library, and there is somewhat more library. After entering it, we will come back again, so that you can pause the video and can see how much library that we have to use. And through technology video editing, we can just skip this part and directly switch to the main part. So I have written some of the libraries, and this is one important library that I want to module, you can say I want to import it, that is called warning. So most of the time that Python community is so big, so you will have most of the warning, runtime warning, or maybe depreciation warning. So to ignore that warning, we will just import this library, and we can call warning dot filter warning, and we will give it ignore category is equal to future warning. You can say just it understand it. So warning dot filter warning, and we have to ignore, and category equal to, and that is called deprecation warning. Okay, import it, and it will take some time. Oh, no model. Okay, so actually it's warnings, so sorry for that. Okay, so I think so it have to work. Okay, it's warnings. Now it's everything is clean. Yes, now after that we have to import the data sets. So just quickly I write something pd.read underscore csv, and sentiment, that is the name of the data set, it's in tsv format. And after that and the separation is equal to /t. Okay, so generally it have been separated each label and the body of the data based upon the tab. And data dot, it doesn't have the columns also, so we can give the column name, label, and body text and data dot head. So as you can see here, after executing it, I have label positive or body text, depending upon which body text we have, positive tweet or negative tweet. After that, we have a cleaning of the data, and before that, what we will do that generally this label we should have in a integer format. So that's why we will use pre-processing library from sklearn dot pre-processing import, and we will import label encoder. Okay, and we will make some object of label encoder. So label encoder is a class because it's written in camel case, and after that we will use le dot fit transform and data, and this is called label, and after fitting we just confirm yes. So as you can see, if the particular label is positive, it means it will convert it or transform into 1, otherwise for negative it's 0. Okay, so do remember it, and after that we'll use a cleaning of the data. So what is in cleaning of data? So there are a number of steps that required for the cleaning of the data. First one is we have to remove some of that patterns. Okay, so what is pattern? For example, we don't have to remember that particular @ or some username. Okay, so maybe particular person is inferring a particular user or tagging it, so we don't have to have these users available in our data set, final data sets. So that's why we can easily remove it, so that rest of the term can be able to help us into predicting some output value. Okay, so we'll form a definition or function or method, you can say, remove underscore pattern. We'll give it some input text, and after that some pattern. Okay, so we'll clean the data, we'll remove some of that pattern based upon the given some regular expression that we will replace here, and re we will calling the regular expression module here dot find all. Okay, pattern, and we will type input text. Okay, so what it will do, so it will find every text which has the given pattern. Okay, and it will provide each of that particular word into store into this R variable. It's becoming a list. So now we will traverse the list for I in R input underscore text and I comma. Now what we will do, input text, and after that return input text. So what we have done, so it will find every type of pattern, and it will generally substitute this null value with particular pattern. Okay, so substituting this with the particular pattern, it means we are removing the particular character or symbol based upon that regular expression we are feeding into this particular function. And after that, after treating that particular line, we are returning that particular text. Okay, So just executing it, and after the first one is remove Twitter handles. Okay, so @user, so we don't require that name of the username. So what we will do here is tidy tweet. So let's see, I will make another column. Name of the column could be anything based upon what you like. So I may make it as a tidy tweet. So np dot vectorize, so remove pattern. So what it will do, open that manual here, you can just, it will become more clear. So scrolling down, we can find what a vectorization means. Okay, so generally in numpy.factorize we will pass a particular function, and in this particular function what it will do, it will subtracting a minus b if a is greater than b, otherwise a plus b. Okay, so we are factorizing numpy.factorize, and we are passing the name of the function, and in that is v function become another function, and in this function we are passing two values 1 2 3 4 and 2, and what it will do, it will just compare between 1 and 2 and 2 and 2, 3 and 2 and 4 and 2. Since 1 is less than 2, so it means this operation will get performed and it convert into 3. Means we'll pass a list, and we can pass a single value, and output what it will give an array or vectorize. So that's why we are using numpy.vectorize, and after that what we passed in it, so we can just store that value into some other variable also, and then we can call this thing also, but we can call from here. So we will pass some value like data body underscore text. Okay, and after that what it contains, generally remove pattern have two things, input text and pattern. So input text is data body text, and pattern is we have to pass a regular expressions. So regular expression is @ and after that we will have w, so star. So that we want to remove it, data dot head. So here you can, after executing it, it will show you, here you can see ddlovatoFANS, so that particular user have been deleted. So generally this have been replaced with this one, this null value. So after removing the particular username, what we can do, as you can see here, we have some of, like, here you can see yes dot dot dot. So that particular dot words, or maybe and, or maybe some semicolon, we don't want it. So that is something called special characters, or maybe some of that row may have some numbers or some punctuations. Okay, so this is actually punctuations. So if we just can see, we have how much punctuation we have. So this is the punctuation that we have in a string module. So that punctuation we need to remove. So how we can remove it? So first of all, I'll just write the code like data tidy tweet, and if you just check that data type is of panda.series. Okay, panda.core.series. So that series come under panda.core library. So we just convert into string, and that string we can call replace. Okay,
So in the replace, pass some regular expressions. So we'll pass from A to Z and again A to Z and a hash. This will be get converted into space. Okay, so it means if it finds anything other than A to Z or character, it will convert into space generally. So that value I will replace here itself, tidy tweet, and data dot head. So after executing it, we can see that here we had semicolon or some punctuation. Now here we don't have. Okay, so after treating this also, we just go and we have having a vodka tonic. So what we can do further? So as you can see, we have having, we have looking, but maybe some of the words like having or looking, they are giving the same kind of information if we compare with have or look. Okay, so if I have or having or look and looking, it doesn't matter that if I have a looking that have a more greater weightage as compared to look, or having have greater impact as compared to have. Okay, so that we don't have to have in our data set. Shorten it to, we have to remove like having and convert into have, looking into look. So how we can do that? That is called stemming. So that stemming part, before that we have to tokenize it first. So tokenizing it what means? Have to split the text into particular words. So having a vodka tonic, this all are will be separated. So tokenize, let I make this variable name as tokenized tweet, data tidy tweet dot apply, and I will pass a lambda function, lambda x dot lambda x and x dot split. Okay, so after that tokenized tweet dot head. So what it will do, whatever the particular word it's passed into it, that string will get splitted. Okay, so after executing, as you can see that we have splitted the particular line into individual form, having a vodka tonic, etc. Okay, and after that we will tokenize it, and we will do stemming part. Okay, so we'll make another cell and we will just import nltk dot stem dot porter, import. So we'll import every libraries whatever contain into stem.porter. Okay, so stemmer is equal to porter stemmer, and after that tokenized tweet is equal to tokenized dot apply. So we'll pass another lambda function. So we will pass stemmer dot stem, and what we will do, we will iterate it through each of the word, and each of the word we have to convert into having to have or looking to look. Okay, so we have to iterate it through for loop, and since x is a particular line, so we'll iterate that particular stem from 0 to up to n in particular x. Okay, so we'll use for I in x. So that is called stemming. So, and after that what we will do, we'll tokenize dot head. So after tokenizing it and stemming it, we will have a vodka tonic and look. So this have been performed a stemming operation, and after that what we can do is to join all these terms and make a particular row. So this is joining operation. So for that we will run a for loop, range and length, and tokenized tweet, and after that tokenized tweet I will use dot join operation. So joining, we just have a space and join. So in between we have a space. Tokenized tweet I, and that we have joined it, and we just have tidy underscore tweet tokenized tweet and data dot head. So let me check. So as you can see here that I have a tokenized tweet. I'm passing into it, and each of the tokenized tweet have been aggregated or joined, and that tokenized tweet is available into for example, it's have a vodka, each of separated word. Now after joining it will become that particular array will remove, and it will become a sentence, and that sentence we are again saving into tokenized tweet variable, and then after holding all the tweet we are again passing into tidy tweet. Let me see the data. So here we have the data. Okay, and after that what we can do to increase the model accuracy, we have already have achieved the data that we can just convert into the numbers. That is the one other step, or we can also add another column after transforming it. That column will help somewhat to increase our accuracy, that is the length of the particular tweet and the punctuation that he had. Okay, so adding another column for length of the tweet and punctuation. Okay, so first of all we will make a definition or a function called count punctuation, and in it we have count is equal to sum, and in it we will pass that is the total number of count that we have to calculate. It will iterate again through the particular line, row, and it will just count that punctuation in the particular row. Okay, so that's why we have to iterate through each of that row, and also in a row we have to iterate through each of the words. Okay, so it will count the particular number of punctuation. So first we will pass 1, that is 1, generally 1 get increase for every iteration. For char in text, if char in string dot things of punctuation, yes. So what it will do, it will just test that if that particular character is in the punctuation, that particular row value count will get increased. Okay. Okay, so and overall it will take the sum. After that we will just return round count slash length text, another text dot count up to 3 decimal points. Okay, so here I have another. Okay, so count divided by length minus text dot count. So what it will do, it will just give us the percentage. Okay, so and multiply it by 100. So what it will do, it will just count the number of punctuation in the particular row we have, that count divided by total length of the text, and length of the text means anything minus the space between them, because with that space is not a area of concern for us. Okay, so that is we have, and after that we'll have one more column, one more shell. Into it I will pass body underscore length data body underscore text dot apply lambda x length of x minus x dot count. Here we are passing body text, the original body text, irrespective of treatment that we have done. That body text we will pass here, and in here it will just apply the lambda function, calculate the length minus the spaces in between that we have to ignore, so that we will minus it, and after that we will store into body length. Another we will use punctuation percentage, and we'll use data, we'll use body underscore text dot apply, and we use lambda x dot count punctuation that we have, so x, and after data dot head. So let we execute this function, and let we execute this. So here as we can see that we have body length and punctuation column is also available for us. And after that what we will do, we will try to see that through one of the very usable module called word cloud. Through word cloud we will just check that how many character, how many words are present in our corpus. Okay, so corpus is a word that infer the particular data set we have. Okay, so as we in NLP we generally infer it with corpus of words or number of words. Okay, so dot join text for text in data tidy tweet. Okay, so what it will do, it will first join or just check how many, it will just join each of one row. Okay, so this is actually, you can think about it, one row, second row, third row, but in all words we have combining this row to the first, third row to the again first. Okay, so as you can see what is all words, so here we have so lots of word have been aggregated together. What we will do from this, so okay, so what we will do, we'll try to make a canvas in which the most word which have been repeated will be present into that canvas. So how we can make a canvas? With the help of called word cloud, that you can install with the help of pip install word cloud. You can have this library into your system. So as you can see, we have word cloud in camel case class. Word cloud is equal to, and I have word cloud. Here we have to define the width of the particular canvas, width or length. Width is equal to 800 pixel ppi, and height is equal to 500. Random state is equal to 21. That is, randomize that particular character wherever you want to put it in the particular canvas. That will decide by word cloud itself. And max font size is equal to 110. That is a size that's maximum that can allocated in a word cloud, and it will through this object we will just invoke a parameter on a generate, and we'll just pass our corpus all words. Okay, so this is the word cloud. Okay, so if you could just use plt dot IAMShow, and just word cloud, this is just a picture, plt dot show. Let's see. So what it will just show you this. Okay, so here you can see we have today, think, quote or one, but it's not actually looking good. Okay, so we just modify it, our canvas, figure size, we have 10,7. Okay, okay, so we have plt dot access, and we have off, so we don't have access. And after that, okay, there's some problem. Okay, yeah, so I have, sorry, yes. So after that you can see this much we have achieved it, but still there's something that it's not a very crisp and clear. So that's how what we do, we have to make that picture crisp and clear, we use interpolation. Interpolation is equal to, there is many interpolation techniques available. You can just go and check it out in this documentation, and we use bilinear. So I think so, yeah, I think so it's very much clear and crisp. Okay, so what we are interested mostly, we'll just check it out how much negative tweet are in the word cloud, right? So for that, what we will do, so for the negative tweet we'll do normal underscore words is equal to dot join text for text in data tidy tweet data label, and that label equal to 0. Yes, so what was 0? What is 0 is stands for negative, so it will just check for the negative word, and based upon the negative word it will try to form that word cloud. You can just also give it a negative word. Okay, and after that the same thing, same canvas, just copy. We don't have to write it down all the way, and we'll just pass negative word, just executing it, and we will have this word cloud. Okay, so now we have created it. Now what we will do, we'll just feature engineer, or we just convert our value that we have got here into integer. So because actually the data that we will feed to some machine learning algorithm, which generally should be in an integer form. So how we can do that? We'll just have, for that we have two types, count vectorizer and tf-idf vectorizer. So count vectorizer, what it will do, it will go for each data. So it will check how much identical or unique a particular word is repeated into particular corpus. We'll just import an sklearn library known as count vectorizer. Okay, so from sklearn dot feature extraction dot txt import count vectorizer bow underscore vectorizer. So that vectorizer is equal to count vectorizer, and here you can give some attributes that it contain, like max difference and min difference. That is not out of the scope, so you can just go and check it out in the manual what kind of hyperparameters that you can give into it. And now I just mention in it stop words, generally which language in it you are dealing the stop words. So it's in English, so bot underscore vectorizer dot fit transform, so data tidy tweet, and after that I will just store into xcount feet pd dot concat data body length, and after that data and we'll just punctuation percentage. So we have to check that whether it's punctuation percentage that we have written or not. Punct percentage. Okay, so that thing we need to write here. I think so it's right. And this we have total. Okay, so right now here what we can do, pd dot data frame bow dot to array, and yes, and what we do, x is equal to 1. Okay, if everything is right, we will get some features here. Yes, we are getting it. So total we have 3943 column, as you can see, plus 2 more, so it becomes 2946 column. It means that much individual character that we have, plus these two. Okay, so we also have tf-idf. So what is tf-idf? So first we will just import sklearn dot feature extraction dot text import tf-idf vectorizer, and tf-idf underscore vectorizer TF-IDF vectorizer, and again stop words is equal to English, and TF-IDF vectorizer, and we just give a data frame is actually, and TF-ID vectorizer dot fit transform data tidy tweet xtfidf underscore feet pd dot concat body length, and the same thing here. So just have to copy and paste. It's not a thing we need to deal about. Only the thing is we need to change here is not a, it's TF-IDF, okay, dot to array. So if everything is all right, we will get this data frame. Okay, so here again 2943. Why, what it is actually a different, because if you just open some of that column, you will see that it's not integer. So here it will just make a count. Here it is generally it is in a float. Okay, so it definitely will be in a float, because a count vectorizer just generally will count the number of occurrence in a particular row, but this will not count the particular occurrence in the row, but it will just find out how much uniformly a particular word have been distributed in your document. Okay, so it will just give a normalized version of your word have been repeated in your corpus. Okay, so that's why mostly people are using TF-IDF, because you're getting a normalized version of your data. So accuracy is somewhat better, but it doesn't it not always do the thing. Okay, so that's why we have to check with the help of both features that which model of for our data which is giving a better accuracy. All right, so after that, algorithm testing. So here I will use import all that algorithms which we're gonna use in our project. Okay, so we'll come back after importing all. So here we have imported from sklearn ensemble method. We have random forest and gradient boosting classifier. From this is for cross validation score, for we will do 10-fold cross validation with our data set. We are using SVC, support vector classification. We are using decision tree. We are using KNN classifier. We are using naive Bayes, Gaussian naive Bayes. We are using logistic regression. Okay, import it. After importing it, we will just also put our model into model list. Okay, so that we can iterate it and we can test it. Okay, so we just implement it now. Now we will type for model slash classifier in model, and after that we will check this scores is equal to cross validation score classifier. First we will check for count features. Okay, so this is the features X and this is a Y value. Since Y is our data label, so we are putting here, and scoring is equal to accuracy and CV equal to 10. And after that we will print model is %s, that is the name of the model, and score %f. And after that we'll just use model
and scores dot mean. Okay, let me check. So for linear regression we have 67.39% of accuracy for our 10-fold cross validation. Random forest is 63.69. For gradient boosting it will take some time. After it calculated, we will come again. So we are able to find that given scores after skipping the video. So we have gradient boosting, we have 64.3%, for decision tree 59%, naive Bayes 59, KNN 50, and SVC 48. So as you can see, simple algorithm like linear logistic regression can able to give a much more accuracy for X count feature. Same, we'll do the same thing, but right now here with TF-IDF. Okay, so here we have TF-IDF. So we'll have to wait again for let it give a score. So I think so for logistic it will give me yes, so it give quickly. So as the complex algorithm become, it will take much time. So random forest, now we have to skip the video for some time till that it will cross validate it and give us some better scores. So here we have again got a scores for different algorithms. Right now here you can see that logistic regression again are getting a better score as compared to the previous. So comparing the previous one, logistic regression, we got 67.39 across 67.4%. Here we're getting 67.9, about 68%. So now what we will do, we'll just tune the parameter. So based upon whatever that accuracy linear model we have. So we'll use logistic regression to train our model, and finally we will fit our model, and we can just observe how much accuracy that have been increased. So for parameter tuning, what we'll do here is we'll just set a parameter grid. Okay, so parameter grid, and in the grid we will just give a dictionary, and we'll give one of the hyperparameter, that is value of C, and after 0.001 comma 0.01 comma 0.1 1 comma 1 and 100, and after that we have a grid equal to, and we will use grid search CV. So grid search CV will iteratively just check comparing every value of C with the given default parameter of our model, and it will try to check that gonna use logistic regression for that, and try to use which hyperparameter will giving us a most better accuracy, and we'll get a best parameter of that. Okay, so we'll use logistic regression as a classifier, and we'll use parameter grid, and we'll use CV is equal to 10, and what we will do, grid dot fit, and X count feature, and data is equal to our label. Alright, so just it will take again some time. So just after just checking the parameter, it will give us the best fit, the best hyperparameters that can give us some better accuracy. So now we are, after implementing it, we will get this value like the logistic regression value C is equal to 1. So for C is equal to 1, we are getting a better accuracy. Similarly, that you can, based upon now what I am doing, we just comparing only the value of C. For you can just check it out at logistic regression documentation and fill that other hyperparameter and giving some different value, and just give some time for grid search, and it will take some time. Maybe here it will giving the result in 2 minutes, and after for you giving different or more hyperparameter or more parameter grid, it will take some more time and give you some more better accuracy. So right now what it will give, if you just check grid dot best estimator. So this is the estimator that we will gonna use in our classifier. Okay, so the best estimator, and after that what I can use the same for parameters tuning for TF IDF. But before that, let me check logistic regression, or you can say logistic model, and just copy paste everything and just paste it here, and scores is equal to cross validation score logistic model comma x count feet data label, and again scoring is equal to accuracy and comma CV equal to 10, and after that just print which of the given model and its accuracy score that it will provide to us. Here you can write LR. Okay, it's problem. Okay, it's, yeah, here is the problem. Okay, so it's giving me 68.9, so 69%. So we have increased the percentage of accuracy for this one, so 67.3 to up to 69%. So similarly we will do for this also, parameter tuning for TF IDF. So it will give you some different result, some different value. Okay, and so let me check for TF IDF as well. So now here I will use for fitting underscore TF IDF feature. So here as you can see that I have got this parameter. So again we'll try to predict it through our given data, the best fit. All right, so just copy and paste it here, and here we will write TF IDF features and just try to get the scores. I don't think so it will have to take much time. Okay, 67.9, it means 68%. Previously we were getting 67.9. 79 is exactly similar. Okay, so this is exactly similar. It's not always happen, but give us most of the time some better results. Here we have 0.1, but here we 0. This. So let me just check the best parameter just to cross validate. Okay, best estimator, it's 1. Okay, so it's 1, it's actually right. Logistic regression, let for, okay, so let again we will check, it's the same. Okay, so now in our case count vectorizer is giving us somewhat better score, about 68.9. okay, about 69%. okay, so
that's what you have to do for getting this model, getting the accuracy. You could have checked for splitting the data into xtrain and xtest, and after that performing this grid search and getting that particular value. So here I haven't split it, so you can just train and press split. So what you need to do here is just call yeah, this one, just copy and paste it. Yes, just copy and paste. So here I have x count feet, and here I have label. Okay, so after that I have x train. Okay, so also I have x text, y train, y test. So first you just train the given model on given this. So let we just train it. So let's we just train it for, we already have logistic model. Okay, here we have, so let we just initialize is again. So our model is this one. It was giving us a better accuracy because we were using x count fit. So our model is equal to this. Okay, so model dot fit x train comma y train, fitting it, and after fitting it we will use some prediction. Model dot predict x test, it's underscore. Okay, so prediction value, let we see how much. It's a prediction value. So let we import sklearn dot model selection import. Okay, so we have to use metrics import confusion metrics. Okay, and also we can say accuracy score, and just accuracy score will use prediction comma y underscore test. So it's a 68%, and also we can just see confusion metrics. We have x, we have prediction, also we have test, y test, and here we have. Okay, so you can just also say that y true and y predicted. Okay, so we just have swapped the value, so that is was that predicted. Okay, so this is the value. So for this we are getting 68% of accuracy for our model. So that's how you have to do for just put any type of x text for that upcoming value, do the same operation and provide it. It will give you that prediction whether a particular tweet is negative or positive. Okay, so that's how you have to do for NLP use case for sentiment analysis. So in the next video, what we will do, we'll took some part of this code and we'll put it into Flask, and we will containerize it and we'll try to deploy with the help of Docker. Okay, so how we will do it, so that containerization option we'll do after this video.
So hey guys, before going to the next video, I would like to tell you that these two files we're going to use in coding section of Flask. So first is static and second one is template. So by default, when you use a web framework, it will going to fetch some of that web pages. So these are the folders that contain some web pages, and that's called HTML and CSS files. So the static, we have CSS file. For example, if I can open it, So here you can see that the CSS generally is called cascaded style sheet. It's actually, it will tell you that if you are making some button or text bar, so how to align those button just for viewing it in a most intuitive way. So that's why it's given width, margin, header. If you haven't experienced about style or CSS files, so that will be new. If you already knew it, so that video, that particular file, you can understand it. And after that, directly go to this template. So whenever we call through Flask, so by default whenever we try to infer any type of HTML name, it will by default try to search templates folder. So in the current directory, so in the template folder, we'll try to locate home.html file. So this is type of UI that you will see at the end of the session, that machine learning sentiment analysis app with Flask, tutor sentiment analysis negative or positive, and enter your message. Whenever you type any message and type predict, so it will try to open the result page, that sensitive analysis result, tutor sensitivity detector, result for comment, and if the prediction is 1, it means that's a negative comment, else 0, it's a positive comments. Okay, another go back, so it will open this home page again and feed your message again. So this loop goes on. You can check whether a particular tweet is negative or positive. So only if your tweet is negative, this portion will get show it's a negative comment. So this won't show here, because this just we are with the help of that window inbuilt feature of viewing HTML files showing us the result. But at the end of the result, you'll only see after clicking result predict whether it's a negative comment or positive comment, and you can go back. Okay, so just open the home HTML file, and here this is that the content in it. So just see this, compare how it's working side by side. So here generally HTMLs start from HTML, and with HTML inside we have head. So in heading we have title home. So in the title we are giving some link about CSS file. So this is style sheet, so it's located in CSS styles.css. so this is the file name. So that URL is for static folder. So it will search in the given path where is that static folder. So this is the static folder, inside this is styles.css. so it will try to locate this file. So the first command is clear. So the second one, what it will do, it will I will end the head. So until this is the head portion, and after that there is a body. So in this body we have header. So in this header, what we have a container, there's a class, this is the ID we give, and after that this is a machine learning sentiment analysis app with Flask that you can see here, it's written. And after that tutor analysis negative or positive, that is here, and it's written in the header of size h2. This is called h1, h3. If h1 there is a bigger size, h2 is smaller, h3 is even smaller, something like that. And after that, after header, we are coming to division. So this come under the division section, and class we give ML container. And whenever we put something that is text area, so that particular text area we have given the name called message, and we have given 4 rows and 50 column. This is kind of size of how many rows and how many column, how much bigger, length or breadth. And we are ending text area. And after that the input predict, for prediction we have given a button here. and whenever this message we type and we click on predict, it will generate a post command. So generally in API there are few commands available, few methods available actually, that is called post, put, get. These are methods. So for post, it means we are trying to create something. Okay, for example, we are creating some database, so for that we are using put. For getting something, we are not creating, we are getting some information, we use get. And we are updating some information, that for that we will use put. Okay, so that is some method that you can search, that is when I'm not going to explain it here. So whenever we click predict, it will generate a post command, and it will put an action of invoking a predict file URL. So whenever it take an action of URL for predict, so we will create a method in the Flask that it tell whenever it try to call a predict in URL, what action should be taken. So in that particular method we will call result HTML file. So if you can just see here also, so the style sheet and the header, the sentiment analysis, a result, Twitter sensitivity detector, and after that result for comment. And after that, writing that particular API in the Flask, in the next video it will give some prediction output. Okay, so if that prediction output is a 1, I'm telling the particular HTML that show only this style in the red color and write its negative comment. That should be in the red color, right? And if that particular prediction is 0, it should write in the blue color, it's a positive comment. Okay, so that is the main purpose of this result. Okay, so in the home we'll try to create if we are try to feed some input, and whenever click predict, it will generate a post method. It will try to invoke some URL having /predict. So whenever that URL is predicted, it will get the particular message from this message box, and in the result section it will get that particular message, and after the machine learning algorithm will give some prediction. So if the prediction is 1, will give the style sheet color red, that it's a negative comment. If the prediction is 0, it means it's a positive comment, it should be shown in the blue. Okay, so that's all. These 2 files, and actually 3 files in the 2 folders, we are going to paste it, and you can carry on the same normal fashion that we were doing it. Okay, so thank you so much guys, we will meet in the next video. So after that we will write the column data dot it is columns is equal to, and we will give it a label, comma, body underscore text, and after that we'll use some features and labels. In this we will had previously label is equal to data label, and here we will use map. So it will map in the given data. If there is a POS, it means positive, it will replace it to 0, and if there is a negative, it will replace it with 1. Okay, so data tidy tweet. So this is the exactly filter output that we want. So first we will use np.vectorize, and in the vectorize we will use that our remove pattern definition that we have prepared, and after that we will use data body underscore text, and we'll use this one W, and we use star. Okay, so I think so it will work. And similarly we'll use tokenized tweet and porter stemmer, and that porter stemmer is a class that we'll use, and after that we will tokenize it, and again we will join it. So these are the same thing that we have written in the previous video. So that I will use that video editing technique. Just skip all this thing, I'll write everything and I will explain this. We don't have to write everything line by line because we are repeating, so I'll just skip the video. So now we have skipped the video and written some of the most code. So here we had written stemmer is equal to porter stemmer, that class that we will use. Then after that we will use tokenize, and we will just go through each of the tokenized tweet and join it and store into tokenized tweet, and after that we'll provide into tidy tweet a separate column, replace it with the previous values, and after that we'll calculate body length and punctuation percentage. That will be another column that we have. So we'll separate out value of X, and after the value of label, and after that we will just use a count vectorize class. We will fit and transform, so that X is no longer string, it will convert it into that sparse matrix having the value of 0 and 1, and after that concatenating body length and punctuation, that concatenated with the axis of 1, it means column wise. And after that we'll use that train and test split. If you want to use it, that we can use, but here we are not going to use it because we already have it trained our model. So directly we'll use logistic regression. We have tuned earlier and we found the value of C is equal to 0.1, better for count vectorizer. For logistic regression classifier we will fit the model. Right now after that we will use app.route, and app.route is simply whenever we open our browser. So by default this slice is the default one. If you just open the local host where this API will run, the first thing will be open that our home page. Okay, so define home, and I will just use the render template. So the template, it will open home.html. so this we will design in a few minutes. And after that app.route, so just use predict, and method is equal to, we'll use post. Okay, so define, we will use predict. So in this definition we will provide if request dot method equal to post, we will use message is equal to request dot form message. Okay. And now we will use our machine learning algorithm to process this message. So data equal to, first we will have to put in the list, and pd dot will convert it into a data frame, cv dot transform data dot to array. Okay, So body length is equal to, so here what we have done, so we have converted our data into the data frame. Okay, so that data frame we will put into our classifier. Okay, so after that body length, so body length will be same data frame, will convert it into, and after that we will have length data minus data dot count. Same thing, we have to count only the body length, so we'll just count the length of the particular data minus that space in between them, and after that we'll just count punctuation is equal to pd dot data frame, and I would use count punctuation function directly, and after that total data pd dot data frame, and you don't have to use pd dot data frame. What we want to do, just simply concatenate. Okay, so body underscore length underscore punctuation underscore vector, and that will be combination of axis 1, it means column wise it will concatenate. All right, so in the given object we have passed all the data frames, and that will be concatenated with axis 1, it means column wise. So after that my prediction is equal to classifier, so we already have classifier, so predict total data. Okay, so after that we will just return that output in the render template, so that output we will provide into result.html, that will gonna tell you how to write prediction is equal to my prediction. So after that our API is done. Now we'll call our API and run in some port. So for that we'll run in we'll write some main main function. So here I have written main function here, app dot run port is equal to 4000. Okay, so save it, and here if you have said a few minutes ago there is some problem, so this problem that here I have written txt, so here I have written that text, so because of that it given problem, just make it correct, so txt, that txt we have to return. Okay, so our code is ready. So our code is ready. Now go into model implementation here. Now we will need home.html and result.html, that we need. Okay, so you just skip the video and just I will provide that HTML code and CSS. So here as you can see we have two folders, static and template. So in the template we have home or result HTML. So Flask generally try to find where the template folder resides. So I think so we have written it, and let's just try to run it. If there is a problem we'll try to solve that problem. So just type python app.py. so it will take some time to just train the model. So after just train it will open the port, our API will run in 400. Okay, so there is some problem, unexpected keyword argument method. Okay, so just let me see where is our problem. Okay, so we go and we saw that there is actually a methods. Okay, so request methods, and that after the request dot method. So I think so is everything is fine. Let's save it and just try to run it again. Okay, so here now it's running fine, and it's running on port 4000. so it's running on local host. Generally it had WSGI connected. It's showing you that warning, this development server, do not use it in production deployment, because for that we need to connect to WSGI server instead. And there's packages available in Python so give it a feature of WSGI. So directly go and just type localhost, and port that we have to give is 4000. Open it, and here you have this output. So just write something. So if you just open the sentiment tweets, and there is a negative tweet, and just copy it and go into the browser and paste it and predict, it will show you negative. Going back again, if we'll just open and okay, sorry, so here if you just type, and it will show you positive comment. Okay, so if you comment anything like hi, so it will show positive. If you just say no, if you just say it's a negative comment. Okay, so in this way you can create your Flask API. So our deployment part is that we will discuss in afterward. Here we will make our Docker container, a Docker image. We'll put that core API into Docker image and run that image to form a container, and we can access the same thing, same environment. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, what's up everybody? So in this video we'll discuss about the Docker overview. So in the previous lectures we have saw that how to write Flask API in Python, how to configure and install some of that dependency that we needed to install for developing and deployment of our model, such as Jenkins, Docker, Python, and some of that libraries also. So in this video we'll discuss about the Docker. Okay, so in this series, of course, I know that there's a lot of things that we are discussing that some of you guys may not know about it, and but the problem is that we need to know only the configurations. So this all the tools and technology that we are using is a part of DevOps, like Docker, Jenkins. So you just need to understand all this concept to deploy your model. Okay, so if any type of problem that you guys are facing, just let me know in the comment section. I believe that you have installed the Docker. If not, just go through that video of installation process, installation part. If there is any problem, just write on the comment section so that I can solve your problems. Okay, so first of all we will just give you some hint why we are discussing Docker here. Okay, so let's just suppose that you have some application, you want to make it available to the end user. What you will do, the first thing that you will do is that you will find one operating system, right? On the top of operating system you will install all the dependency what your application is needed to run. For example, some SQL, some database, okay, some MySQL or PostgreSQL, anything, and that database your application is running upon. Okay, so in operating system, some dependency, and the top of it you will install, you'll copy your application, and then you will run. Okay, so that whole thing is quite a cumbersome process, because installation and configuring everything in an operating system, and operating system itself is a huge size of file. Okay, so it's Windows 10 right now, or some Linux, Ubuntu. These are flavors are quite big in size, more than 1.5 GB. So that we don't need. Okay, we only need our application, and plus the size, plus only the Linux kernel and the dependency size. So that only we need, and we can just run that thing. Okay, run application. So to meet that requirement, Docker help us into that. Okay, so how Docker help us? So first of all, let me look what is Docker is. So Docker is an open platform. It's an open source platform for developing, shipping, and running your application. Okay, so developing that, you develop your application. Now if you develop your application, and it will give you an environment just like virtualization, and that environment will be same like kernel, like Linux or like Linux, or maybe some Windows, and on the top of it you will copy your code, and that environment will have all the dependency. Okay, you will copy your code simply and you can run it. So that particular environment, a dependency, that will become an image. Okay, so if you just know that in your childhood few years ago, that we have experienced in our life, that we have installed our operating system with the help of some image file, some ISO file. Okay, so that image file will have all the dependencies needed to run an operating system. Okay, maybe some image will have Office 2016, Office 2019. Okay, so this image is what? Similarly, a Docker image such like that, it will have all the dependency run to your application. That particular image you can ship, or you can give to anyone who want to run your application. Okay, so that's why shipping terms come. Okay, and after that, running your application will give you same type of virtualization as you are running your application into their host operating system. Okay, so after that, Docker provides the ability to package, run application is a loosely isolated environment called container. Okay, after running the image, it will become a container. So that we will see after some time. The isolation and security allow you to run many containers simultaneously on a given host, regardless of its operating system, Mac, Windows PC, and cloud data center. So let me look about the architecture, that Docker is different from virtual machine. So this is the virtual machine. This is the infrastructure. So this is the infrastructure, like for example, you have RAM, ROM, and your operating system. On the top of it, this is the hypervisor software, that every Windows machine have a hypervisor on the top of it. If you have to enable it, and then you can install your any type of VirtualBox or VMware, and it will create a virtual machine, and on the top you can install your dependent apps, and that operating system will have all the dependencies. But the problem is that it's a very heavy. Look, so that much resources we don't need, but still that a virtual machine have all the resources which is not needed to run your application. All right, only some minor part that we needed, only kernel, only some set of dependency that we are needing for running our application. Okay, that is the main issue that virtual machine were facing. Now the container are on the top of infrastructure. We have host operating system, and this host operating system, for example, Linux, we will install Docker, that will install on kernel, and the top of it we will have our different images. Okay, so in the different images we'll copy our application and run it. It will become this type of containers. Okay, so this is a container A, container B, that container A have application A, application B, application C, and similar like that. So this application will have only small amount of base kernel size of your operating system, like Ubuntu, and you will not like believe that there is a one Linux kernel that is available in the Docker that will give you same type of environment of Linux, but that size of your Linux kernel will be of just 5 MB. That type of environment is called Alpine image. So that we will use in our own file also. 5 MB of size, your application may be 100 MB, and your dependency will be of 200 MB. Okay, so 200 plus 100 plus 5, it will become 305 MB. Only 305 MB you are investing to run your application, and rest of your hard disk will remain free to run other containers. So that much flexible Docker is. So containers are lightweight because they don't need an extra load of hypervisor, but run directly within the host machine kernel. This means you can run more container on a given hardware combination than if you were using virtual machine. All right, so right now we are just let's go to some directory, and first of all, the first basic thing, if you want to run your own application, first of all you need to have one base image. Base image, it means an operating system. Okay, so where do we get it? So for that you need to go to Docker Hub. Okay, so hub.docker.com, this is that URL. Go to this and we'll have to go to Alpine image. Okay, so just search Alpine. So there are so many things, so many images available. So this is alpine/git, so alpine/SOCAT. So these are images created by the users, some of the users like you and me, and they have created these images, and these images have some other functionalities which is not available, like this verified publisher. This is official Alpine image. Okay, look, a minimum Docker image based on Alpine Linux with a complete package index and only 5 MB in size. All right, so it will give you all the Linux environment which have nothing. All right, which have nothing. You need to install everything in it, and then you will copy your code and will run it. Okay, but these images will have something other feature and functionalities on the top of Alpine. So that is because Docker is totally open source. Anybody can make an image, anybody can publish it. Okay, so that people can take help of it. So there are so many images available, and it's also downloads are more than 5 million, 1 million, 10 million. Look at this. Okay, so each of this different functionality. For example, a simple git container running in Alpine Linux, especially for tiny Linux distro, it have git already installed in it. So these are some of the different flavors. What we are needed, only Alpine. On the Alpine we'll install our dependencies and we'll copy our code. So the first thing is making an image. So image can be made with the help of Docker file. So create, just open your text and just write Docker file. To make a doc image, first you will write Docker file. Docker file doesn't have any extension. Click enter, and that Docker file we needed to just click on edit with the help of any notepad and just start to write. So same Docker file that I have created, so you need to copy inside the whatever code that you have. So this is the Docker file. So if we just open it, so this is very simple line by line commands, very step by step commands are written. This is very easy to understand, so that we will discuss later on. So here you can see from FO Frol Vlad, this is the username of one user, and we are using Alpine, and we are using Python machine learning latest version of tag. So this is the complete base image that we are using. On the top of it we are installing pip, and we are copying it and we are running it. So these we will discuss later on this video. So first thing first, in a nutshell, what you need to run your application on Docker. So first thing is you need to have an image file. Okay, so that image file will be written on Docker file. On the Docker file you have one operating system image, base image, that you will get from the keyword from, and after that you will run every type of code and we will just build it. So that is building and running from the container we will understand in this video. Okay, so if there is any problem, just write on the comments. I know there is a lot of things that is happening. Maybe I'm trying to not going into the detail. If there is any, I'm just attaching every type of helping resources to go and just go through it, understand it. If still there is a problem, just let me know in the comment section so that I can solve all of your guys' problem. So thank you so much guys, we'll meet on the next video. Hey, what's up everybody? So in the previous video we have written the Flask API, and we have configured all that tools, Jenkins, GitLab and Docker. We have installed this, and our prime and main objective was to deployment of our own NLP model with the help of Docker. So this is the Flask that we have written our API, and we have run successfully, and our test our model that whether we are getting output with the help of some web framework or not. So in this video we will decide to write some Docker script, Docker images. So after running and building the Docker image, we finally get a container in which we will run our application, and we can ship our application so that end user can run it on our machine. Okay, first of all, go to some directory and just create some file. So I will choose a text and I'll name it Docker file. But before that, I will want to tell you that that our prime objective is to make a Docker file. That Docker file will copy each of our code into the base image. So that base image will be a Linux. On top of Linux, we will copy our application. That image will contain all the dependencies, and we will run that image to form the container. And after running that container, we will access that container through our port, and we can give this image to anyone, and he will run that image on some port, and through its network anybody can get, or anybody can able to access our NLP model output. Okay, so you can deploy these output to any website, or you make some application that depend upon you. Okay, so keeping that in our mind, we'll go ahead. So the first thing is go and give the name as Docker file. So press enter, save the file. That file doesn't have an extension. Open with any type of editor of your choice. So I had opened Notepad++. You can also open with your Notepad, and just here we will write some scripts. So what our base image. So the first script is the base image. So just open the Docker Hub and go into the Docker Hub website, and here in that in the search bar you will write Alpine. So this is the Alpine image, that's the base image. That Alpine image of only 5 MB of size. So here what we want to do, that there are other people who have written have installed the dependencies of machine learning model such as Condas and Python on the top of Alpine. That image we want to use, that is open source if you remember. So I will open one of the that open source image called Frolvilad. It is that username of the particular user. That image is of 180 MB of size. Here we can copy this Docker pull and just copy the username and that tag called Alpine Python machine learning, and here we'll copy. The first thing is from. Okay, so this is a copy, and we'll use the latest tag. So to understand the tag, just go into that website. Here you can see that which is the recent update of this image. So this is the latest version, that is only one. We will run pip install because it's already have Python installed. Okay, so that is that advantage of having the Docker, because the image, that environment, you will already get in this Alpine. On the top of it, Python and several machine learning libraries. Which are the libraries that, let's see. So we will get machine learning library like NumPy, Panda, SciPy, Scikit-learn. So far so good. Okay, so upgrade, and we'll just upgrade pip, and after that we will use working directory /app. Okay, so in this, inside this container, we will make an application folder. In this application folder, everything will copy in that application folder. Okay, whatever run in only in that particular working directory. Now after that, we will copy everything. So dot means everything will copy inside this app. Okay, after that we will just run pip install -r requirements .txt. okay, so we need to write some requirement files also. So let's open some text, and here you will write requirements. Okay, so if the spelling is correct, okay, so just open it and just type simply which modules you need to install by pip. Okay, so I will install Flask, that I need. I will need NLTK library. Just close it. So these two things I need. You can just also give some version name also, like for example equal to and 1.1.1 and NLTK library. We generally want to use latest one, so that's why I'm not going to give any type of version here. So if you have some compatibility issue, you can give the version name also. Okay, so after that, copying it, after running that pip all the requirements, in the top of it I will run some NLTK module under this library. I will want to install punkt, punkt. It will have stop word, and it will give you porter stemmer and stemming algorithm that you want to vectorize your particular text file. Okay, so for that, how you can install it, you just type python -mnltk.downloader punkt. And after that, if you install everything, whenever you run, it will run on some port. If you remember it, then they have to expose it to 4000. And after that, whenever we run the container, so it will run on entry point. Okay, entry point actually when you run that container, so in the shell here that previously we have run our code, if we just type python, it will open for me python shell. So it will type cmd, and after that app.py. okay, so that's it. So in this way you can just write your Docker file. So after that, we will, this Docker file, here we have written our Docker file. This Docker file, we need to copy it in our virtual environment. Okay, so how I can copy it? So I've already uploaded into my Git repository. So just go github.com/123. So if you just open it, you will just find that there is something called deployment of NLP model. So that particular thing I will copy. So here you can see that I have also given the glossary of NLP with Python for machine learning. So here you can get all that libraries and what it actually name, like lemmatization, root cause, NLP, NLTK, what is actually is all about. So it's also written. Go and clone it and that's requirement.txt file is there. Flask NLTK and the Docker file is available. So just open your virtual environment first. So here we will open our VirtualBox. So just open it, Ubuntu. So we'll wait until that our Ubuntu VirtualBox will get open. Now as you can see, our operating system gets started. So now I will just open the putty, and here I have already saved my session previously, so just open it. Yes, here we go. So just open some desktop or some resources. So just go to some document, like, okay, so document, and here it doesn't have anything. So we will clone our repository here. Just copy paste and just write git clone, and it will clone the repository for you. Okay. So there is something contained like deployment of NLP model. Go inside it, and here you have these all files available. Okay, so what we will do, we'll first just check how much like first check sudo super user, and so that we don't have to write every time. So we are there's a root user we will use. So just tag docker image ls. So it will give you these images that I have. So previously I have created the same docker file and build it. So now I'll give it some different name. So I'll try to first remove it. So for that, docker remove and that image ID. So here just pass docker remove image ID. So after that, okay, so docker image remove. So this is that command, and this actually some containers running that is not allowing us to remove it. So for that we will use container remove that already have been stopped 56EE. So after that image remove, so I had removed it. So just again check that image. So there is nothing called NLP. So now we can build our own image. Okay, so just type docker build. So what docker build will do, it will build an image for you that will have all the dependency already installed in it. All right, so I will give a tag, so -t, and the name of your NLP model. So just NLP, or just give it a Python and give the tag version 1. And after that, where that docker file is present in the same directory, dot, press enter, and it will go through the docker file and it will try to install all the dependencies which is it want. So I have already downloaded this image previously. So here I can see this one. Okay, so that's why you don't have to download, it will take it from the cache. Okay, so that process become much more faster. In your case, it will go and directly connect it with the Docker Hub and will download this image, and after that further process will get carried out. And after that it will copy the app and in that install that requirement, collecting Flask and collecting NLTK. It will install on it. So it will take some time till it install every type of dependencies needed to run Flask and NLTK. Now after that it will just take some time, and you can just see how much it's the download process is actually the same. So here it found that we need to download some from NLTK.downloader, and in that punct library, punct module, and it has successfully built the image. Okay, now we can just check docker image ls. So here you have NLP Python that have been created 9 seconds ago of size of 275 MB. Alright, so just we have created it, but there is some, if you just run it, for that we have docker run -p, that is the port that we will give. And so the port is outside we will try to access is for 4000, and inside it is expose is 4000. Okay, so outside let we give 5000, so it become much more clear and much more sense to you that outside we can give any type of port available to you, and inside there is 4000, which is actually the port that is exposing from inside the container. Okay, so after that we will run it at some background. So for this is detach mode, so -d, and after that NLP Python version 1, and you can just also can give the image ID also as in place of this. So we'll just name it as my NLP. Okay, just run it, and it is running at the background. To check, just type docker ps, so something is running. So if you go at your browser and type your that 190.168.43.200 is IP of my virtual machine, and just type 5000, you'll get that this is something here is running. So just type hello or hi. Previously we have just checked, so it will give this positive comment. If we give no something, or just positive negative comment. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so if you just check that the previously what we have code that written, it is executed perfectly, but the one thing that is a minor change that you have to do is app.py. If you just look at the app.py through vi through vim editor, you find out that under the hood, under the name main function, we have provided host is equal to 0.0.0.0, because in the Docker, if you just don't give this, it will try to run the local host that can only accessible inside this container. Okay, it won't be accessible outside of your network. Okay, or inside your local machine where your that local host is running, so that running inside the container, so it can accessible only inside the container. That's why we previously we have run it with the help of 127.0.0.1, that is the IP address of local host that can only run on site the your computer. To run it anywhere else in your connecting network, you have to give this or some given port. Okay, some given any other IP address. Okay, so this minor change that you have to do, and after just come out of at vim and carry out the same process of making an image, and after that running it. So after checking that this is container ID, the container is actually running, and it's if you go to any other place, any other browser connected with your network, you can on 5000 port with the IP address, you can just access your application. Okay, so that's how we can create this particular application with. Now there is one thing that I want to let you know, that if you want to just go inside that your Docker container, you just have to run this command docker execute, that is run already for running container. Open that interactive shell. For that we have to press -it, I for interactive, T for tty shell. Okay, so just run the container ID or container name. So it's my container name is my NLP, and after that just type /bin /sh, press enter. Now you are in the container. You have press ls. So here the present working directory is /app. Okay, you can go also the outside, you can press ls. Here you have, now inside you can just see you have app folder. Go to app, and here you have all the files that is that we have copied into that particular app. Okay, so come out. For come out, press Ctrl+D. For that is the command to come out of the container. And you can also check the logs, what is running inside the container. So for that you can just check docker logs, and the my NLP, it will show you these are the logs that have been running, because we have executed some of the commands here. So it will show you some running. We can also just type hey, hi there. So it will just predict it's a positive comment. So right now if you can just again check, so here something have been included here, 1 2 3 4 5. Now here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so something have been executed right now because we have executed something. So that's how we can check the logs, that's how we can make image, and we can run the container, we can see the container, we can name it, we can run it, we can set the port. So that's how the Docker works. After that we will make a total CI/CD pipeline, that it will fetch the image from the GitLab, it will just build it, it will dockerize the container, and everything we can see on the Jenkins, that we will do in the next video. Hey, what's up everybody? So in the previous video we have discussed about what is Flask, Docker, GitLab, Jenkins, and we are doing a series of videos on deployment of NLP model with the help of Docker to make a end-to-end integration with the help of CI/CD pipeline. And the first video we have discussed about what are the different tools that we're going to use to make our pipeline, what is Flask, Docker, GitLab, Jenkins, how to install it, how to configure it. And after that we have understood how to write Python scripts on Flask to make an API, web API on browser. We'll just type any type of message, and through the message, if you type predict button, it will give us whether that particular tweet is negative or positive. So that we have done the similar implementation with the help of Docker. So how to write the Docker file, what is Docker images, what is container, run in the container, it is giving the same type of output as we have observed through our local system. And after that, this video is all about the making of end-to-end, connecting all the dots to make a pipeline. And we'll push our repository into the source code manager called GitLab. That is the enterprise, mostly the companies are following GitLab because it gives us many feature, the total DevOps tool that GitLab is giving us. And we will understand that end-to-end pipeline is actually pipeline. It means getting the code, cloning it, and after that dockerizing it, means running the Docker, forming an image, building an image, and after that run the container, and after that test. These are all the pipeline that we can make the pipeline with the help of Jenkins. So this is all the end-to-end integration we will do in this video. Okay, so first of all, open your virtual box, and in the virtual box just open your any web browser, and we will access that to our virtual box with the help of putty. So this is the password, and after that just first of all, if the Jenkins is running on some server, let's open our Jenkins server and also our GitLab. So I have given username, password, admin. So the Jenkins UI, you have you can see that's new item, you can see people, build history, manage Jenkins. All that options are given for our work. We have new item and manage Jenkins. First click manage Jenkins and go to manage plugins, and after that go to available, and just in this just try to search GitLab, hit enter. It will show you available if that GitLab is available or not. It's still loading, and after that here you can see if the GitLab is available. In my case, I was already installed in it, so you can see that if I just press GitLab, it will show me GitLab plugin. This is a GitLab plugin, and generic webhook trigger plugin. This is two plugin that we need to be installed, okay, that we have installed through our manage plugins option, and we can uninstall it. So if we have uninstall button, it means we have installed it externally through these available packages. Okay, after installing it, just restart your Jenkins, and it means your GitLab plugins are available. And this is the GitLab UI. To open the GitLab UI, just if you know you are using Docker container, so here the GitLab is running. Okay, so how to run the GitLab? Sudo docker run and giving the port of 80. We are bridging the port 80 to 80, 443 to 443, to 2200 to 22. Okay, so whenever you open it, it will take some time to open, fully configure. You can see the logs with the help of sudo docker logs, and after that 51 C9. If I hit enter, it will show me all the logs are available, which is given by this particular GitLab container. Okay, so there are a lot of logs. Okay, so just clear the output, and in the first, if you just open your UI, it will take some time. After opening it, it will prompt you for given first password that you have to give, that is the root password, and after that after giving the password, you have to remember it. After that, this screen will open. You can register any user. Okay, so why GitLab is useful? Because in enterprise there are a lot more of developers and maintainers. Okay, so if developer will develop something, it will merge, but it doesn't have the access to delete the particular repository. It only a root user, or in a GitLab word, it's said as a maintainer. So maintainer will maintain all the repository. It will merge the changes. It will just delete the repository. You can name it. You can change any type of settings, and developer or a guest user can only push some changes, can only do some depending upon the given permission. So that on we can manage with the help of this GitLab. Is a complete DevOps tool. CI/CD pipeline is also available. You can integrate it with Kubernetes also. So that is a container orchestration system by Google. So first of all, that default is the root access, because we are using it GitLab, so we have root access. So after that, the password which we have given in the first session, that you have to apply. Now the root directory will get open. Okay, so we already have created one of that our repository. So we just want to delete it, so that you can just learn. So to delete it, you just need to go to general and then advanced, and just remove, and I'll write NLP model deployment. Okay, and after confirm it. So it will delete your repository. Hit the refresh and will create a fresh repository, just my NLP model. Okay, so NLP sentiment analysis. Make it as a public repository because it will be helpful for integration with Jenkins. There's all configuration given to you. You can just go and check it out, and you don't have to clone from here because it will give you container ID because we are running inside the container. It will copy this repository link, and we go to our document. So just check, we already have a deployment of NLP model. This is our repository. That repository we want to push. Okay, so if you just check that git version, git remote -v, so it already have one GitLab fetch and push remote URL, so that we want to remove it. So for that you need to do sudo git remote remove origin, because the remote name is origin. So after that just check, there is nothing. Now we will use git remote add origin, and after that pasting that okay, what was the problem? Okay, so okay, we need to copy it again. There is some problem, it's showing whether it copies or not. Yeah, it's got copied. Git, okay, we will copy it again, and so now we'll just check. So we have added it. Now just check git status. There is some Jenkins file. Okay, so if you just check it, there previously it contains a Jenkins file. What is Jenkins file? Just like we have created Docker file to building our image, to run our Jenkins pipeline there is some set of commands that we need to run. Okay, so the first step, what a Jenkins will do, or second step, what Jenkins will do. Okay, so this is a series of commands that we needed in a particular file that is called Jenkins file. Okay, so that Jenkins file we needed to make. Before making a pipeline, we just click a new item. Okay, so that we have added. Let's we commit it. Okay, git commit hyphen first add it, then git commit, access denied, so use sudo, and after that we will use sudo git push origin master. So this is that name of your GitLab username, and after that password. So it pushed changes everything. If you just refresh your page, you'll get your the actual file here. Okay, so just we want to clone it, and we want to build this check if there is some error or not. So just we don't want to check any error, we just clone it and just check how the Jenkins is performing. So just simple build. Okay, just make a freestyle project. This is actually freestyle project pipeline actually we want to deal with it, but freestyle project is actually that under the hood you'll get by default. So it is not for the complex type of application building and making a pipeline, but it's actually only build your particular software application. Okay, so just click OK. So it will open for us a configuration file that we need to configure. So which Git repository we have, so just copy it and paste. Since this doesn't have any this is not a private repository, it will not ask us credentials. Okay, and after that there is some webhook build trigger that we will configure it after it, that will come after. And after that you can execute some shell. So just type who am I. Okay, just save it and just build. So it will take some time, and yes, this something is running, something have performed. Now here if you can just check the console log, so that Jenkins is gone to my URL and it fetched the code and it will showing the commit message, and after that it will show who am I, it's a Jenkins user. So build is finished. So if you just go to your project and your workspace, here you can see that all the file available to you. You can just check requirement.exe flask nltk. That is our same file which we have stored here. It means Jenkins is able to connect with our GitLab. Okay, so far so good. Now we will want to make a Jenkins pipeline. How to do that? For that we want to create Jenkins file. Okay, so for that what we will do, we will try to create Jenkins file. So it just let I open an actual UI. Okay, so go to your document where I've stored this and just create some file. Okay, so here just okay, Jenkins file. Now enter anything like pipeline and just save it so that it's get reflected here. So it's a Jenkins file. Now we have to write the Jenkins file. So what I will do is we'll just push the changes into our GitLab and just check. We will edit from the GitLab itself. Okay, so git status, if you check, there is Jenkins file, git add, after that git commit, some commit message, and after that git push origin master. So if you just check here, we will have Jenkins file. Okay, so just edit it from here. So Jenkins also give you some good editing environment to edit your file. Now here agent is equal to any agent any, and after that stages. So generally for given different pipeline we have different stages. Okay, so under the stages we will type our first stage. So the first one is the clone repository. Okay, you can also write some comments also. So cloning the repository to our workspace. And after that there is a called steps. So in the steps you can write the shell or whatever the command that you can pass and tell the Jenkins user to implement it. Okay, I will go for git checkout source code management. It's SCM, stands for source code management. It will just clone our repository and just close it. Now after that there is stage of called build the image. Build image, and there is called steps, and we can also pass some shell script here. So sudo docker build -t, and what you want to give the name of our build. So if you can just check that we want to give some, like for example my NLP model version 1 and the present directory, so it will execute the same thing which you were doing in your system. Okay, sudo docker build -t is mean tag, and this will tag it will give, and the dot operator is for the current directory the docker file is present. And after that there is a stage called run image, and in this what I will do steps, shell command sudo docker run, and that is run in background. Name is my NLP model, and just write NLP model, and the image that we want to use, that is my NLP model version 1. That's it. And after that again close this stage. The last stage is the testing. So the testing, we're not going to give you some complicated some testing steps, just here testing some echo command. Okay, so echo and testing, and okay, and after that we'll close this. Okay, so let's see if this works. So after that we will update our Jenkins file, click the changes and hit new item, pipeline, and build pipeline. Okay, so the name I've already given to it, so hit OK. It will open the configuration file as usual, And here you can see pipeline script from SCM. Now source code management is your Git, and just go to your repository, and after that copy, and after paste it, it will check. They don't have to use any credentials. It will automatically check whether it contains Jenkins file. So we have contained the Jenkins file. Apply, save it, and build it. Just let's check if that our build Jenkins file is correct. So something is running. So it automatically detected that there are several steps involving. Now clone the repository. You can just directly see the logs. It have cloned that repository, and building the image, the actual building like Docker build, and after running it and downloading all the packages, it is running that downloading steps that is written inside the Docker file. And you can check that console output, everything is running here. So step 6, now it will download that punked package inside that NLTK module. So it will take some time, about few minutes. Yeah, so it will tag that our image, it will run that our image. Now it is showing testing and build finished. Okay, so if you go to our system and just check sudo docker ps, something is running here. All right, sometime Jenkins will show you error for directly using Jenkins file. Inside the Jenkins file we are using the sudo command. Okay, so actually the first thing that I show you here in simple build, that in console log, who am I? So this is user is Jenkins. So Jenkins might not have that permission of sudo to run the Docker. So in that case it will throw an error. For that we need to use sudo vi sudo, and it will open this file. Under the very last you have to write your username, and after that all equal to bracket, all bracket close, and no password, passwd colon all. Similarly for Jenkins file you have to write it like this. Come out of it by control plus x, command control plus x, and just hit y. This is the simple step for making change in nano files and nano editor. And if you just sudo docker ps, or just write image ls, so you can see that this is the so this how you will have to make these changes so that Jenkins user can do. Still, if Jenkins user prompt you for error, what you need to do is to, there is already a user group of Docker have been created. So what you should do is sudo user mode -a g Docker, and after that Jenkins. So it will put a Jenkins user and add it to the Docker user group. Okay, okay, so that's a small thing that you need to care of it. And after that our build is getting successfully running. Okay, so we just stop it. Okay, so sudo docker container stop, that is container name is this, just stopping the container. It will take about few seconds to stop the container. Okay, so our container have been stopped. So we want that if automatically bill get generated if something we want to push here. Okay, how to do that? So we want that if automatically bill get generated if something we want to push here. Okay, how to do that? So for it we want to go configure of Jenkins. We want to create a handshake. So build trigger, build when change is pushed to GitLab. So this is the some changes at what event something build got occur. Push event, yes, an open merge request, and if you want to go for this option, accepted merge request event or close merge request event, check it, but mostly people they are using already by default have been checked. Now copy this webhook URL, click apply and save, and that webhook URL we need to integrate with our repository. Paste it. Now come here, add webhook. Now it will show you URL is blocked. It is because we are using actually this is our URL. Either we use this IP address or localhost, it will show you the same URL problem because GitLab have been designed like so. So we need to tell GitLab, hey, you don't have to bother about this URL. I truly believe this local IP addresses. So for that we need to go to this admin area. So actually I have already logged in through root user. Only root user can see this admin area. Go to setting and setting in networks, and in the network click outbound port and just check this allow request to the local network from webhook and services and click save changes. Again go to your projects. Okay, so go to your projects and go to integrations, and now if I paste here, you don't have to enable access verification. Add webhook. So webhook have been added here successfully. Now for testing you can just click push event. Now it's showing hook executed successfully but return HTTP 403. It's because that in Jenkins, if you go to manage Jenkins, configure system, while installing GitLab, it will authenticate your GitLab here. GitLab enable authentication for project. You would have to unselect it and click apply and save, and go to your build pipeline, and after that again click the push event, and after it will give hook execute successfully. Now here it's showing some pending. Now go to this console output. So here you can see that the build is getting created. Okay, so it's showing failure because some conflicted have been arrived. That particular NLP model is already used by container this. Okay, so we need to just remove this container. So sudo docker remove container, remove this. So okay, the container is already used by container. This you have to remove or remove the container to be able to reuse it. So you have already have been given to this one. Okay, so just try to run this. We will try to run from here. Okay, So make some changes in readme file, edit it, and just take docker testing and click commit changes. Now something have been changed in our repo. Now again go to build pipeline. Now here, so here the build automatically get created, so it will take some time to reflect the changes. So here we are, so let hope so everything works fine. So here we can see that it had already started and run the docker container at background. So go and just see sudo docker ps. So what we have done, we have created a container. Now this container is running here, and it's running on 400. So build automatically get created, but there's something that we have created a problem, because in Jenkins file, okay, so the port we haven't given it. So if you just give the port, so let's edit it, and we can give the port also 5000 4000. all right, update Jenkins. Some build should get created here. Okay, here the actual build is created. I just check the logs file if everything goes well. So here you can see that Docker have run it successfully at some IP 5000. Now if you go some 192 and just check 5000, okay, so here it's running right now. It will take some time to just open your port. So here you can just see, so this is running on 5000. So here if you can just say hi, how are you, so predict it will give is a positive comment. So no, let's see, it's a negative comment. So whatever you write, so depending upon the accuracy of model, it will give you output. So we have gone through each of the process. We have running the Flask, we have container as a Docker, we have put into GitLab and the Jenkins. So each one of the see with the help of the given pipeline here is in there. Check out, clone the repo, build, run the image, and the testing phase. So this is all about CI/CD pipeline. So in every company they used to do such like that. So there's some difference, but basic steps will remain the same. So congratulations guys, so at the end you finally completed it. So this course I have designed just keeping in mind that if you are a working professional, or if you are a student, or you're an enthusiast, you should know the end-to-end pipeline and various tools and technologies that is people are using in the market currently. And I know there could be some doubts, there could be something that I might be not able to clear it. Just write it on the comment section. So you can also connect me through LinkedIn, through also Twitter, or through Facebook. So you can also keep on asking me any type of question. So I'll take out my time and clear your doubts. So congratulations once again for completing this course. If you find this course to be intuitive and better, if there is any type of suggestion, please let us know also. that I will try to improve much about this course. And please share this course also to your friends, that you can also learn about different technologies and tools. The most important part of this course is there is multiple tools that is working side by side, so you can learn many things. So you can learn how to make your hand dirty on it, you work on it. So that is all only aim that I had in my mind, that you should know to work what is the importance of Flask, Docker, GitLab and Jenkins. So that's all. So thank you so much guys, once again congratulations, be happy.